Hey, Quad Bros, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm glad you guys are here. The devs just put out an update to their tech tree. They've gone over it, they've redone it based on our feedback, and they've got a couple things to say, as well as the whole new tech tree. So they have said that based on our suggestions and feedback, they have reduced the number of ranks by half and added folders that require you to unlock that only require you to unlock the first weapon, and it's not necessary to open the rest. Leveling will be simpler, easier, and faster. So this was my personal biggest piece of feedback regarding the first tech tree. They've reduced the number of tiers down to 5 as opposed to 10, which is perfect. I think that that's fantastic. I had 6 tiers in my version, but I think 5 is fine with the expansion to be bigger later on. Going up to 6 or 7. So that is perfect. I'm so happy to hear that from the devs. Well done there. I think that's just going to be better for every player involved, and as well as just the general flow of the tech tree itself. They also wanted to briefly mention that the balance of the weapons, the rating that they're going to be at based on their BR, is not necessarily dependent on where they're at in the tech tree. At least that's what I think I'm seeing here. If a helper or a developer is can be more clear on that, then please do so in the comments below. But they're saying that this tech tree, this plan demonstrates only the sequence of weapon unlocks as opposed to the battle ratings. So that the battle ratings aren't necessarily going to be in this order. So that's kind of interesting as well. I kind of like that. So let's get into it. So first off, I have looked through this very briefly. I haven't really dug deep into it, and we're not going to dig too deep into it just because there is a lot of stuff here, but it'll be kind of interesting to just briefly peek through it. First off, you can see that it immediately looks much nicer than the previous one did, visually speaking. I know that Euthymia, the helper, did a lot of work for that, so big shout outs to them. And I've also got my tech tree pulled up here. This is the one that I made a video on. If you want to check that out, I'll leave a link down below. But just to kind of compare them, we can kind of see that right off the bat, we've got tier 1 going from the G33 and ending in the VZ24, which is pretty much exactly what I did, right? We've got tier 1 ending in the VZ24, so definitely agreed there. And then tier 2 ending in the Armaguera mod 39, which is basically, again, exactly what I did, right? We got the Armaguera mod 39 ending in, mine was in tier 3, theirs is in tier 2. I think that's pretty fair and reasonable. So they definitely have done basically what I did. I'm not saying they copied me. That's not what I'm getting at all. I'm just saying that, when you reduce these tiers, it makes sense to do it this way. I love seeing the G41 in tier 3 and then the G43 in tier 4 and the ZH29. Yeah, no, this makes perfect sense. Just looking at this, the way that this flows through, yeah, I did the same thing. In my tier 5, my late game tier ends in the Curali to the STG, I believe. Where's it at? Yeah, Curali right to the STG. Perfect. Yeah. So just to explain what's happening here and why I did this and why I think the developers are doing this is the idea is that you have, right, we've got our mid-tier, right, our mid-tier being like our early semi-autos or our really good bolt actions like the VG2 or the G41. And then we've got our late game. We've got like tier 4 can be our strong semi-autos, and our tier 5 can be our kind of like select fire rifles. And I think that works really well. I think it really sections off each tier, and it's clear about what is going to be in the tier, which is clear for both players and for developers if they ever choose to add anything. Now, I don't see anything new in this. I think this is all pretty straightforward. I will say I disagree pretty heavily with the Jagdpanzer being in tier 5. I think this should be a little bit lower. In my opinion, the Panther is a better tank than the Jagdpanzer. And I know, okay, the BR and stuff like that. So maybe this isn't really the balance in the BR. But I personally think that you should be unlocking tank destroyers earlier. Because if you're a player who doesn't care about tanking and you want to just have a tank destroyer that battles tanks, then you should be able to bring that as your tank destroyer and as your mainline tank, and that should be a little bit earlier, but not that big of a deal. Again, I guess it's not balanced. It feels weird that this isn't really like the BR ratings are different here. Oh, why is this purple? What is purple? I saw a purple thing down here a second ago. Oh, okay. Exclusive items for full access. So if you have the full access pass to Stalingrad and you have the Panzer IV G, that's where that's at. That's interesting. Okay. But yeah, I guess I know things aren't, like this. I would like to see more folders for the vehicles. I feel like the planes are just in one straight line, and that feels a little awkward. Um, I think that what I did in my tech tree, I branched them down into an aircraft, or just an aircraft tree, but then I had them in like a fighter line. So these are all like the fighters, and then I had like a bomber line, like a close air support line. I think this would benefit from that, so it's not just one straight linear shot. But that's okay. Tanks look fine. Let's look at the rest of these things here. Did Japan get anything new? It doesn't look like it. They don't have a tier 5. I honestly would argue that the Type Otsu is more of a tier 3 as opposed to a tier 4, just because it's a weaker semi-auto. I would say that the Type Otsu is more akin to the G41 than it is to the the Gewehr 43, just because of its general power level and also just kind of the general level at which it's unlocked. But again, maybe this is just I think this is supposed to be more of like when they were historically made. So I guess the tech tree is more of historical. Where's the MP3008? That'll answer my question really quick, won't it? MP3, though the MP3008's in tier 2, so they're not doing it like that. So yeah, I think that, I know this isn't based on like pure balance, but I think the Type Otsu should be tier 3, but that's such a nitpicky thing. That's not such a big deal. Also, flamethrowers should all be tier 5. Tier 2 flamethrowers should all be tier 5. That's really important in my opinion. I think flamethrowers are the most powerful thing in the game, pretty far and away right now, not to mention being the easiest thing to use, so you should move them up to tier 5, which is, in my opinion, where they belong. America, this looks fine. Yeah, M1 Garand is tier 4. Yep, that's fair. Yeah, this looks fine. Is it M1 Carbine in tier 3 then? Lee Enfield, where's the Carbine at? Carbine's in tier 2. Yeah, I like that. Okay, cool. Yeah, I like that just because the M1 Carbine kind of sucks. I would move the M1 Carbine with the grenade thrower up to tier 3. Just because it's, you shouldn't have a carbine. You shouldn't have the M1 Carbine and then a better M1 Carbine in the same tier. They should go up, right? It doesn't make sense for them to be in the same tier because the M1 Carbine with the grenade thrower is strictly better than the Carbine. So this should be in tier 3 as opposed to tier 4. Or tier 2. Lee Enfield with a sniper scope should 100% be way later in the campaign just because of it's just better. Even though it's unlocked, I guess it's, no, I guess, yeah, since it's not BR, sure, that's fine. Yeah, okay. It's just weird that these don't relate to your battle rating. That feels so strange to me. But whatever. Vehicles. Yeah, I like this. I like this folder here. This folder looks great. This folder looks awesome. Yes. Yes. Yeah, this looks good. Honestly, I think they have a better tech tree for the Americans than I do. I think my American tank tech tree is a lot worse. Although I will admit, I will say that personally, I think starting with the M2A4 makes more sense than starting with the M13. I prefer that in mind. But everything else, I think they did better. Although it's similar, but I still think it's better. Hellcat sucks. Hellcat should be after the 76. This should be reversed. Reverse these and we're good. Soviets. Oh, these are all the items you guys can see here. I'll just hold this right here. So if you guys want to look at the items, you can like pause real quick. I'm not going to go through these. Soviets, yeah, these all look fine. Sure. Yep, that all looks fine for the rifles. Pretty straightforward. You guys, again, you can pause if you want to, but it's just these, it's pretty straightforward. PPD 34. That's the stick mag variant. So where are they putting the drum mag? See, the drum mag, okay, so you don't get the drum mags till really late. I don't think I agree with that. I would personally put the PPD 3438 in tier 3 because I personally believe that the PPSH box mag is on par with the PPD-34 drum mag because it shoots faster and it has a like 35 round mag, which is only a couple bullets less. It's like 25 bullets less or 20 bullets less. And that rate of fire really matters, and the reload speed matters a lot. So I would argue that the 34-38 should be in tier 3 with the box. So then you kind of have both of those back to back. Maybe you just put in a folder, so then you get the PPSH box, and then you have to unlock the drum mag as kind of like an upgrade in tier 3. I think that would work a lot better, and would also, I think, clean up. Oh, it is in tier 3. Wait, oh, they're both in tier 4. I'm stupid. Wait. No, I'm right. No, this is tier 4. These colors are not different enough, but that's okay. Yeah, I'd move this back, and then move the PPD-40 to tier 4, and then you have the PPSH. That's fine. Fedorov being last is perfect as well, because that gun is insane. Flamethrower move up, that's fine. And yeah, everything else looks great. SU-85 I think should move down, but otherwise that's fine. I like this T-34-85 folder. I think that looks good. IL-2 folder looks good. Yeah, this looks great. This tech tree, final verdict. The first tech tree they released, I would say was like a 4 out of 10. The first tech tree. This tech tree is pretty far and away, I think, an 8 or even a 9 out of 10. I think that all of the complaints that I have about this are very minuscule. If they put this tech tree into the game right now, if they released this right now into the game, I would be very happy. I would be ecstatic. Okay, I think that there are very minor changes that should happen. I think the only fundamental rework that this tech tree needs is I think that planes should be separated into a fighter tree and a close air support tree. And that is it. That's the only major kind of change that I think needs to happen. Otherwise, it's just minor stuff. It's just shifting around some guns and stuff like that ultimately isn't even going to be that big of a deal. So I got nothing else, guys. Fucking fantastic. Fan-fucking-tastic. Well done, Darkflow. This is awesome. I'm excited for this. I think they did a great job rebuilding this. I think they did a great job presenting it visually. So, yeah, that's it. Well done. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. Leave a comment down below what you guys think about this tech tree and your guys' thoughts on how the tech tree has changed. Do you guys think it's better? Do you guys agree with me? Or do you guys think it's worse? Do you guys think the first tech tree was better? And why? Leave that comment down below. And while you're there, leave a like and subscribe for the video. It helps me out, and I appreciate it as always. And join our community Discord, guys. It's a lot of fun to hang out, look in for group, join up some games of Enlisted with some people once this tech tree hits, as well as other games. But without anything else, thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Take it easy.